a week ago, not a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think, I went to London for the first time, and not to be super fucking dramatic, but Taylor's not in here. About 3 weeks ago, I went to London, and like, not to be super over dramatic, but that trip will in fact change the entire course of my life. Super nonchalant though. I'm being super nonchalant about it. I'm being really cool and nonchalant about it, but yeah, everything is different now, and I guess I should like talk about that. This is kind of one of these videos that's really like just for me to look back at when I'm like, you know, successful and happy in my life, which will come one day, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those videos to look back at and have a really cute like I was there, now I'm here moment. But right now I'm here and I'm not there. So, sucks a little bit, I guess. So I guess I should talk about like the entire progression of like how we got to this point and then how it has affected me. Pretty much my entire life. I won't say my entire life, but for genuinely like a good chunk of my life, like 7th grade, I just got this really strange obsession with England and English people specifically. Not like because of the accents. Every woman like knows a tall British man that's an actor that do they want to fuck them or do they want to fuck their accent, you know? Like, not because of that. Although that's a plus. I guess that all kind of started like there. At some point, it went from I just really like British culture and British things to I want to move there, and I genuinely don't even remember distinctly when the switch happened, but it happened at some point. I think I remember thinking this at around like maybe freshman year is probably when I first started thinking about it. And then it's just over time just gotten bigger and bigger of a desire and a want. And it's kind of like genuinely this is the only thing that I've ever like subconsciously known has to happen. I'm gonna sound really like hippie for a second, but like every time everybody's like the universe is speaking to me, whoever you want to say it is, like the universe, God, like the fucking voices in your head, whoever it is like they're all telling me the same thing. They're all like, nah, it's you and it's you in England. And there's like no other choice. Sorry, if I keep looking over here, it's because there's a giant mirror over here and I'm fucking obsessed with staring at myself. Anyway. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. What the fuck was I saying? So yeah, that was a very long-winded way of me saying like basically I've spent my entire life just really wanting to go to England and visit England, and it finally happened, and now I'm like, what the fuck do I do with the rest of my life? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, ugh. It's like, how do you go from the trip that you wanted to go on your entire life to just like back to normal? So why am I making this video? I guess I'm making this video the same reason why I make all of my sit down, hey let's chat videos. I'm depressed. Woo! I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but I could definitely be getting there. For the whole week I've been thinking about it. I'm like, ugh. Damn, remember when I was in London, right? But it hasn't been like, oh, damn, London. But now it's like, damn. There's a lot of things that I went and I did on this trip that like I kind of thought, oh, it was never gonna happen. And it's like, I think I just have really bad imposter syndrome, where it's like every time a good thing happens to me, like a genuinely really good thing happens to me, I'm like, I don't deserve this. It's gonna be taken away from me. When I was there, I just kept being like, I'm gonna wake up. Like, that was the genuine thought. Just like every time I saw something like monumental, I was like, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up and I'm not gonna be here, and I'm gonna be back in my bed, because like I didn't grow up around this stuff. I didn't get raised on like luxury and wealth and like accomplishment and all these like good things. Like I got raised on all these like, on life sucks and then you die, and that's kind of like all I ever saw growing up. And I feel like I'm one of the first people in my family to be like, no, like life is gonna be great and then I'm gonna die, you know? So I was just like, how does like some little redneck farm girl from like broke ass Florida end up standing in front of Big Ben? It just doesn't make sense. It's like, I have never seen myself as like that type of person. The like rich girl type, the I get what I want type. It's always just this front of me being really, like, it's not always a front. Like, I don't know, like I'm really confident. I think I genuinely am really confident. But I always think there's somebody better, and there's someone who deserves it more, and there's someone who's going to get it more. I just feel like nothing I do would ever justify me deserving that. And so it was just like, how'd I get here? And when is it going to be taken away from me? Because there's no way that I get here. Like, what timeline did I jump into to end up where I ended up? Now it's really scary, because it's like I'm back and I'm like, oh, what if that was it? What if that was my 15 seconds of fame? That's all you get. I expanded my luck. I've ran out of my luck, and now we're back to normal, and we stay at normal. And I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay in this environment. I don't want to stay in this place. I don't want to stay in Florida. I don't want to stay in America. And I'm like, how do I get back as quickly as possible? I'm like clawing at the walls. Like, please get me out of this country. If anybody has a UK visa that they're trying to spare, like, give it to the needy. I have to keep reminding myself that it's like, that's not true. Like, everything that I just said isn't true. Your dreams can come true. You can end up where you want to be in life. You can be happy. But it's just like, I guess I'm always comparing myself to, why haven't I done it yet? Why haven't I gotten here yet? The second somebody does better than me, I'm like, they could have done it. If they did it, I could do it. So why didn't I do it? Why wasn't I there already? But that's not a good mindset to be in, and I know that it is. This is a completely different turn than what I thought this video was gonna take. I thought this was me being like, I'm sad, take me back to Europe. But this is like, I'm sad, take me back to Europe plus my therapy session, I guess. I always feel like I'm on borrowed time. Like, time has never been my friend, and I know that. I'm not good with time. I'm always late to things, and I'm scared that if I'm too late, I will completely miss my opportunity, and I won't end up there the way that I want to end up there. Like, I get these notions in my head of like the way my life the way I thought my life would look at certain points, and I start to get very worried when things don't perfectly align the way that it works in my head. So I'm there in that moment exactly the way that I planned it. Because in my head right now, I'm at the very least 25, living in England, doing modeling. And that is like the vision that I have. It seems like a long way away, and then it seems like I don't have enough time at the same time. Because it's like, realistically, I would love if that could happen like tomorrow, but it's not going to. It would take nothing short of a miracle for that to happen within a year. That kind of worries me because I'm like, well, if I won't even be looking at it in a year, how am I going to get there in 5 years? So I worry that I'm not in time, that I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now, and because of that I won't be there by then. But then I have to remind myself, like, crazier things have happened. I keep looking back at like my my Snapchat like memories and stuff, me from a year ago, me from 2 years ago, whatever, right? And every time I look at those pictures, I'm like, does she know one of the greatest things in her life is yet to come? And I think I should have that mentality more, because I'm like, okay, better can happen. You know, it can always get so much better than that. You could always see better. Like a year ago, I mean, not to air myself out, like a year ago, I was really obsessed with concerts. So last year I went this rock festival, and it was really fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was like super fun, like really great memories. Saw a lot of super cool bands that I love, right? And I kind of thought that like that was the epitome of cool. I was like, this is so great, I'm gonna do this for years to come. Like, you know, what could get better than this? Like, if me 2 years ago could see me a year ago, she would be like, oh my gosh, you're the coolest thing in the world, right? Now I'm looking back at that and being like, oh, you thought going to a music festival on Daytona Beach was the coolest thing that's gonna happen in your life? Just wait, because in a few months you're gonna see you're gonna see like the flyer online for the trip that you're gonna go to, and you're gonna think that's the coolest thing you've ever done. And how could anything ever get better than this? If 2 years ago me was like, I think 2 years ago I had a boyfriend. 2 years ago I had a boyfriend and I was like, oh, this is the coolest, right? It wasn't. Was not the coolest, actually. We broke up. It was entirely my fault. I'm not very good at relationships. So that wasn't the coolest. I knew that. I wasn't that delusional. 2 years ago, you know, when I was still being a little bit delusional, I was like, I have a boyfriend. Guys, I have a boyfriend. People like me. First time for everything, right? Like, this is the coolest, right? And then 1 year ago, she was looking at 2 years ago and being like, oh, you have no idea. Guess what I'm doing now? And now me is looking at all of these past versions of myself and being like, girl, if you knew what you just did, if you had any idea what was coming, you'd be like, freak the fuck out. There's always the possibility that it's like next year will be like, what the fuck, you know? Next year could be even cooler. Maybe by some insanity, a year from now, somehow everything will happen. I'll get that modeling contract and I'll be on my plane, sitting on my plane, going to my little apartment in England, going to my little London apartment, my little London flat. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm so sorry. The best is yet to come is kind of the mindset that I think I need to have. That's like, it can always get better. Yeah, you know, it's gotta kind of suck a little bit now, but like rags to riches. This is my rags to riches story. This is where it all begins. This is the part where when it's like in the edits and they do like the throwback edits. They say something in the beginning of an edit that pretty much just perfectly lines up with like their life. And they would have never known that was the case. Like, you know, who would have known they would have ended up being like such this cool, successful thing. You know, y'all see those edits. I watch those edits all the time and I imagine myself in them. I could always be that. This is another thing I keep telling myself, is that like, it's just simply not my time to be living in England right now. Whatever it is that keeps drawing me over there, whatever it is that's waiting for me. Is it a place? Is it a job? Is it an opportunity? Is it a person? I don't know. But whatever put this little voice in my head that like everything's gotta align because I have to be in England for that to happen, you know. Whatever that is, I'm sure that if it is truly, you know, this big moment that I keep feeling like it's gonna be, that it'll wait for me and that it'll be there, when I'm supposed to be there. When it's my time to be there, I will know. And I will be there. In all honesty, I can't remember a lot of London. I have really bad memory. Like, really bad memory. I can't really remember a lot of London. Like, what I did, what I saw. But I remember being happy. And I'm just, like, not happy a lot. But I just remember, like, being happy for just kind of, like, no reason. Like, I was sitting on the tube and I was like, this is great. I'm having the time of my life. I was in my hotel room and I was like, I'm in my hotel room in London. You know, like, we were walking around. I almost got like hit by some guy on a Lime bike. I was like, London's great. Like, you know, like, I was getting charged ridiculous over amounts for prices for like street vendor food. And like, people were telling me left and right that my phone was going to get stolen out of my pocket. And I was like, the London life is for me. You know? So I don't really remember what I did, but I remember that I enjoyed doing it. And I guess that's kind of how I want my life to be, you know? I guess I don't necessarily need to have all of the crazy things that I want. It would be cool to have them. I'm still gonna work for them. Like, hell, reach for the stars, and if you fall, you land on the clouds. Quote Kanye. I have a lisp. No, fucking make fun of me. I think at the end of the day, I just want to be there because I just think that when I'm there, it's easier for me to be happy. And I don't really feel like it's very easy for me to be happy a lot. Am I tearing up? What the fuck? Nothing that I have said. Genuinely, when I start talking, I go on autopilot and I just open my mouth and I don't even realize what I'm saying half of the time. I just zone out so much. Like, but no, for some reason that really made sense to me. That's so embarrassing and disgusting, and and I should just delete this whole video. There's a time and a place for everything. And the way that I got to London was so perfectly lined up with how I found out about it. You could just tell that it was just so meant for me. I was supposed to open my phone on that day, look at that message, and like set it into motion right then, right there. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. At some point in time, there is going to come a point where I'm going to get another message like that, where I'm just like, you know what I really feel like doing all of a sudden? Checking apartments or something. And I'm gonna look at the little map, look at fucking apartments.com, and I'm gonna see some apartment, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna live there. And that's not now. That might not be next year. It might not be the year after that. And I hate to say it, it might not be the year after that either. But it'll be the year before I turn 25, okay? Why? Because if I'm not in London by 25, I'm going to start sleeping on the streets there, I swear on my life. I'm one of those crazy people that kind of believes in fate and kind of believes that butterfly effect, you know. Little things go into play so that you can end up at the big moment. And I think that me going on that trip was just the start of the first big leap into what will be the rest of my life. So when the time comes for me to leave, I will know it's my time. I just have to deal with the fact that that's not now because I can't rush what has been set out for me and what has been already planned out for me. I feel rather hopeful after filming this video. I feel a bit relieved. If you like this video, wait, let me lock in. If you like this video. If you like me, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.